Hey guys, welcome to Faz Radio Live. Let's get started. And that's my announcement. So, hey, what's up, people? What's up, Mr. Titan?
Hey, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I am working on my taxes today, or I was. I have been the last few weeks, actually. And what I'm getting close to finishing up, and I'm just about done. I'm working on my NFTs, buys and sells, and something I learned some things about ERC 1155s and Etherscan. Apparently, if you get multiple NFTs, multiple ERC 1155s in a single transaction, Etherscan will just show the first one. So, of course, all those, if you've gotten any NFTs from Gala Games, and then in the past, Gala's been like, yeah, we got your order. We're going to fulfill that for you, but you're going to have to wait a day or two. And then they batch everything together and they send them out. Those batches are going to come back to bite you when you're doing your taxes, when you're looking on the blockchain to see where they came from. So,
well, explain the context. So we were sitting there trying to figure out how to find everything manually to help a program that Faz is writing to help with the tax import on the ERC 1155s. And it came to light that one of his purchases doesn't show up in the ETH blockchain. It doesn't exist. It never shows mint on that.
well, so apparently, I believe that the rules with ERC 1155s are you can batch like items together. However, if you look at some of these transactions, they're actually batching several different items together, which I did not know. I thought if I thought you could send somebody like 1 or 500 of the same NFT. Apparently, you can send them 1 of 500 of one NFT, and then 1 of 500 of another one, and then 1 of 500 of another one. I don't know how they put the transactions together, but whatever the case is, you'll get a mint on the blockchain, but it'll be for one item that you got. And so I got it for one item, and I'm like, okay, where's the rest? And then only after we went back through and clicked on the transaction, we saw my other items were in there too. So just a little complicated.
It's in the, for those looking, you'll have to go and manually find it in if you're on Etherscan, put in your address, go to the transaction, and it's under the logs tab. And you'll see the parentheses where it'll say like log 6. And then you'll be able to see your transactions in there, all of them, but it only records the one. And we're not sure yet. We haven't had a chance to really dig deep into it to find out if it's an Etherscan thing or if it's a chain thing. So we're not sure how that works yet.
Well, I think it's Etherscan's way of showing you these ERC 1155 transactions. By the way, there is no online tax tool that will automatically pull this information for you. So just hang that one up right now. You're going to have to go to Etherscan and maybe and export to CSV. And even then, Etherscan won't give you all the information. You won't see a lot of the mints. So that in anything that's batched.
There are a couple tax software people out there that say they support it and they don't. And we've hammered it and hammered it and hammered it. That's not to say it's not going to come out, a week from now, and they'll support it. But as of right now, they're trying to just get customers at this point. You can see your NFTs. You can click in their quote NFT center, and a lot of them will be there. But when you need the data, which is what the tax software is for, when you bought it, when you sold it, it's just not there. So that leads us to the next thing. And this is something we ended up talking too late the other night, so we didn't get into all this stuff. But is there? And I've never looked. I don't want to sit here and sound like an idiot, but well, I will anyway. Um, but is there another type of ether scan, or is there only one? I mean,
I think there's
well,
more. I think there is more, but I
I've
don't
never
know.
looked. Because I know some of the paid services, and some of those are ridiculously expensive, but they're really, really good. I'm not sure if they would have the ability to pull that stuff out, but as far as like the free, kind of like Etherscan, where you can just go and figure everything out, I've never looked. If anybody has used anything else, please drop it in. We'll put it in the links below in this show.
So Marcio Cordeiro says Boa noite, which is Portuguese. I only know that because when I was in the Navy, I served in the Azores for a while. But he's asking if Gala Games is under maintenance right now. Seems to be working for me at the moment.
Yep, I was playing that new server on Townstar
The
right
test
before
server.
the show. Yeah.
Well, I did have to I did have to reload my town because they probably, when they put that server online, they made you have to. They did a server reboot or something.
I didn't have any problems, but I haven't gone back to my other town yet.
Anyway, so we have a few different things we were going to talk about, and where's that list that you have there?
So
NFTs.
Yes.
We'll stay on NFTs. So let's introduce this discussion. You wrote Faz and Titan recap a discussion they had the other night on when NFTs can be seen as an MLM trap. So obviously MLM stands for multi-level marketing, which is, if you buy something, what's that? I'm thinking of Avon, or is it Avon, or who does that?
Well, Avon's a loose one. They have like LuLaRoe,
LuLaRoe, which is you sell items. Amway. So basically, they have you buy items and then you sell to other people, and you buy product to sell to other people, and then you get points or money for referring people, or you get a bigger share of the people you refer.
And you build a downline, and you have to recruit other people.
Right. Now,
sounds a lot like, the strong thing, the Ohm thing.
Exactly. Now, I think the government's trying to see NFTs in the same way, but in a more distributed, in a more distributed fashion, a more decentralized fashion. Like, well, if you buy a bunch of NFTs and then you talk them up, you're going to cause other people to want those NFTs. Well, that's kind of like what the stock market does. So, I mean, if that's MLM, so is the stock market. It's important to mention that Gala Games, for example, had this referral program, which I don't even know if it's still around because I haven't referred anybody. But a number of cryptos have a referral, some sort of referral thing, don't they?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, when all that came out with the node voting, I think they got rid of the ongoing referrals, but I think there's like a one-time, hey, you get somebody to sign up and buy a node, you get X amount of Gala. I don't know how that works, but it doesn't affect daily distro anymore. I know that.
Okay, so anyway. Yeah, when now with gaming NFTs, I'm thinking of the NFTs where you have land. Technically, I guess if you're renting land out to people and they're farming that land, maybe that can start to be seen as a multi-level marketing thing. Because I don't know, maybe I have some Miranda's land and you're running a shop on my land. That means you got to buy an NFT, and then you've got to work on it, and then I will get a share of it, right? if I'm renting out other people.
Right. And you've got to recruit other people to supply your shop. And um, as a landowner or a town or a village, you've got to get people to put their NFTs in your particular town. You have to. Now we can say, we want to be clear here. We're not painting Gala or Mirandus as an MLM.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it is a
We're
way of
just
seeing it.
we're reading things. And you get onto, of course, Twitter, and everybody's going to roll their eyes, right? So you read what people talk about, and then you start applying things to the platform. And we, as always, use Gala because we're all very familiar with it, and we can
But you
all
could
relate to
swap
it.
out Star Atlas or some others,
Right.
or Splinterlands or anything that uses land that you would rent to people.
It strikes you as funny, and this ties into the Discord community part, which we'll get to a little bit later. But um, it it creates an issue where you can look at this and say, is this something that is very similar to those? You have to buy a product in order to participate. You have to recruit others in order to maximize how much money you're going to make. If other people don't buy in, especially new users, those NFTs you bought could very well be worth very little. We've seen some of this happen with some of these games that are out there now, where everything kind of comes crashing down. And to get it back where it needs to be, you have to look at that MLM narrative and you say, boy, I've got to recruit more people to buy more stuff. And the people who start this at the top with the land and everything else have to build their downline so that all of these things work so that they get paid.
So let me jump in at this point. So this whole concept, I think, borrows from having land, real life land, and a real life store to put on the land, and real life customers that you'd have to get. So when I think of land in a game like Mirandus or Splinterlands or Decentraland, I think of maybe a mall with spaces. Like I own the space. Like I might own a mall, and then if I own the shops in the spaces, or I might rent out the spaces in this mall to people, and then those people who have the spaces would have a business there, and whatever money they make, they would pay me. And of course, everybody, the mall and the business owner, they're both going to want to advertise the mall and the spaces. They're going to be very interested in getting their own downlines, as it were. So that's completely illegal. And it would seem that the multi-level marketing scheme is somehow different from that, right?
Yeah, sort of, a little bit. I mean, the same comparison can be made. People say all the time, for example, oh, such and such token is a Ponzi scheme, right? And they'll go on and on about, well, if no new people come in to buy that token, then it's going to go straight through the floor. Okay, well, that's everything in life.
Like
Okay.
hamburgers. If your store is a hamburger shop, and if no new people come in and buy hamburgers tomorrow, you're out of business. So
the price of hamburgers goes down. The same premise with the stock market. It is the exact same thing. If you have a share of GM and you bought it at $9, you had somebody who was willing to sell you that at $9. If my goal is to get somebody to buy it for $18, and if everything goes great and GM does a good job at what they do, somebody will come along and look at my offer and say, yeah, I think it's going to go higher than 18, and they're going to buy my share of GM. The exact same thing works with Bitcoin, with Gala, with Town, with Litecoin, with everything out there. It's the exact same thing. So you could call every coin and every token out there, yes, it is a Ponzi scheme. The difference is the belief. The belief in whether or not that token or coin that you're looking at, if you think it's going to be higher than what it's offered at today, you'll buy it. If you don't, you won't. It's that simple.
Well,
So the difference between that, I'll hush here in a second, but the difference between that as with that Ponzi look where the new investors artificially pump up the part versus an MLM where you're building something and the value of that comes from other people joining and putting money into it. It's similar all along the whole spectrum. Okay. You have to look at it, though, a little bit different. You have to look at what your beliefs are and what you believe that that coin or token or project is going to do. Do you believe it'll still be here in 3 or 5 years? Do you believe that it, even though it tanks, like let's use Town Coin as usual, a Gala reference, right? So it was rocking and rolling at 90 cents for quite a while. And now it's 9 cents. Do you think everybody thinks so short term, right in front of their face? Oh my God, it's 9 cents. The game is over. Forget it. It's done. See ya. I'm out. And what you don't realize is Townstar is very likely to be here in 3 years. And do you honestly think that it's going to be that low for that long with a company who hasn't done anything yet? They've released a couple of betas and a couple of play tests. They haven't even gotten a major media outlet article written about them yet, for cripe's sake.
hey, that Superior playtest was pretty cool.
It was, but it made me realize I need an actual gaming computer because I was stuttering really bad on that.
It was I like. I haven't seen a lot of cartoonish kind of games, and I've been kind of hoping for something like that for years. I do play Team Fortress. It reminds me a lot of Team Fortress. I play that with my son. So we were kind of bummed that we couldn't really play each other that easily on on the demo. But that demo's good. I mean, it's complete. There, I didn't see anything missing in it. There were no things like image belongs here kind of thing. It was fairly well done. I heard some other people had some stuttering problems, but I didn't.
Yeah, that reminded me of that cartoon I used to watch when I was a kid. It was a space one, and it had the jumpy graphics a little bit. But I kind of enjoyed that. That was very polished. I wasn't expecting it to be that polished.
And I hear the people that got up to the higher levels, though, the higher levels started becoming a bit more bare and blocky looking, like they hadn't finished them.
Well, because they haven't. It's a demo of something they haven't even finished yet.
So it looks like Lusa here, or Z Lusa, has said, "What do we think?" This just happened, by the way. So let's get your opinion right off the bat, Titan. Apparently, people who did Bored Apes, is that right?
Yeah.
Had bought CryptoPunks.
Correct.
Okay, that's cool. I'm curious what Larva Labs is now doing for a living. I mean, if they
Well, there's a little bit of controversy around this too. And again, I just read about it, so I hope I did a lot of reading tonight. I hope I'm not confusing two separate things. But I believe this project is requiring KYC in order to be part of it.
oh
I'll have to pull back up. I think I read that on Twitter. And they were pretty vague about it at first, and they're like, they did a gala thing, a typical gala thing. These Bored Ape folks jumped up and said, "Hey, we're not going to tell you what this is, but you're really, really going to want to do this."
That, you know, you
That
you do that when you have a captive audience, and I think Bored Apes knows that they have a captive audience. They have a lot of rich people, and I like the direction. I know this seems a little bit strange. I like the direction where you get an NFT and you get the copyright, commercial rights to that NFT you have.
Mhm.
Because, obviously people are complaining, hey, you're not buying a painting, you're buying a picture, a digital picture that can be photocopied. But yeah, you throw out digital rights with that too, and okay, now you have something more than a picture. It's your picture, and anybody who copies it, you could sue them. Now, of course, most of us won't because we're not that rich, but the point is you still have the rights to it, and you can make money off of it. You could print up cups, and people can buy the cups and or print up T-shirts or whatever. So I like that angle with NFTs that you really can't get when you buy a painting. If you buy the Mona Lisa, well, if the copyright was still around. Okay, so if I painted something right now and you bought my painting, you don't own. If I painted one of my Zipbug cartoon characters, you don't own the rights to that cartoon character. You just got a painting. You get to put it on your wall and tell people how cool you are. But you buy an NFT of a Bored Ape, and you get what you could do whatever you want to that ape. You could. Now the question is if you can make derivations of that. I think you might be able to.
Well, if you own the rights to it, you can do whatever you want with it.
Right. The
You just
question.
can't take credit for the ape.
So here's a
really
good
what it is
question.
about.
If I have an ape without glasses, and you have a virtually identical ape with glasses, and then I go put glasses on my ape, can you sue me? I could just say that they're my glasses; they weren't yours. But my glasses.
It doesn't matter because you don't have a copyright on your ape.
Well, if I had a copyright on my ape and you had a copyright on yours, at what point do they start ramming up? At what point you start getting in trouble?
Do you really think people who own Bored Apes are going to go copyright their ape?
No, you get the copyright for that when you buy the ape.
No, I don't think you do.
Yeah, you do. You get the commercial rights to it.
Commercial rights and copyright are two entirely different things.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commercial rights and copyright. I think I mixed those up. Okay. Yeah, I don't know who has the copyright to Bored Apes, but okay, so that's a good point. So if you have commercial rights to that ape, if you change that ape to something else, do you have the commercial rights to that?
I think so, because it's a new creation, I would imagine. Of course, I'm not a copyright attorney.
So if your ape has glasses and mine doesn't, and I put glasses on it, then
so
cool?
let's take this back to our friend Doug with his Eternal Clays, right?
Doug Tenaple, who does the Eternal Clay.
He encourages that. He gives out the license too, and you're free to do whatever you want with it. It really, what it does is he's looking for people to riff on what he's created, because his is about art. And if you riff on what he did and resell it, it still makes him look good. He still gets the marketing and the attention, because everybody will know what it is still. But it gives a pseudo utility to something that is just art and doesn't have like a physical utility where it lets you into secret places like Bored Apes.
Well, that's
or
real
something
utility.
Like that.
It's
right.
Real utility if you own if you own the distribution rights to it. Commercial rights.
I wouldn't. Yeah, so I wouldn't call that utility, because you've got to put work into it to produce something. So that's not a utility. It's more like a feature. That's my opinion. I mean,
Okay.
know.
Well, I mean, a shovel has utility too, and you have to put work into it to use a shovel. Anyway, um, well, I don't want to go too far off the reservation here, and I just lost our list of things to talk about. So you can go
we
into
were
the
gonna
next thing.
we were gonna dovetail into the community. So I had communities on Discord, right? So there's been some chatter about this. I put a message out. I forget what channel I was in this morning. I think I was talking with Gorham. And we were going back and forth a little bit about uh, the marketing aspect of Discord and like a gaming company that uses Discord to build a community, and what the community is used for, how it is massaged, how it is marketed to. And you hear on a lot of these projects, I mean, you can go to a dozen of them, and you can go to Twitter and see it written all over the place. The community is what makes the project successful. If you have a great community, you're going to be successful. If you have a crappy community, it's not going to be so successful. So, digging down into the whys is really important to understand. So, when a community is thriving and is good for a project or a gaming company or a token, what that means is the two are in sync trying to go for the same goal. So the token people or project people or gaming company needs the community to provide value to them, and that value could come in ideas, free ideas. Hey, this is the best way that you can do. This is a cool feature I'd love to see. Hey, let me grab your symbol and post it on Twitter. There's free marketing, there's free ideas, there's feedback. There's certain organizations out there on Discord that will be real mysterious about what they're going to release or whatever else, because they want to stimulate that discussion and read the comments on what people want, and then magically the community they're going to get what they wanted. That was amazing. How did they know that's what we wanted, right? So that helps them sell to their community, and they build this community. Well, ABC token gives me everything that I want, and I'm going to talk about them until I'm blue in the face, and I'm going to post on Twitter, and I'm going to buy, every NFT golf club that they sell, because boy, they are really good at doing what their community wants.
Doesn't MLMs encourage communities?
Yeah, so that's part of it. And when you go, if you do a Google search, I'm not going to point you to anywhere in particular, but if you go to Google and search up warning signs of MLM, and then go to some of the Discord communities that are out there with, we have the world's best community, and apply those warning signs to what you see in the Discord. Out of some of them list 5, some list 10, some list 15. A good 60 or 70% of those you're going to see in that Discord.
By the way, this would apply to those stock market trading groups, like the ones who pumped AMC really high, and all those others.
Absolutely. So I did some reading on that, of course, after our discussion the other night. And there's 3 big ones that are huge warning flags for MLMs. Number 1 is a lack of information. They will tell you, oh, it's going to be a great surprise. Oh, you're going to make a ton of money. Oh, Amway did this thing. They had a little blurb out of that. 80% of our community makes money their first month in the program. Now, what they don't tell you, of course, everybody has these starry-eyed dreams. You make like 38 cents. And they'll say, well, yeah, well, you made money. We weren't lying to you. So that's number one. That's one of the biggest red flags out there. Number two is products that have little value, right? So your Amways and your LuLaRoe, you have these very cheap products that are very expensive to buy, and they keep pumping them at you. Ooh, you got to have more inventory. You got to have more. You better get more of this. There's going to be demand. I know you're the
something
best, salesperson out there.
something to say about LuLaRoe is LuLaRoe, you could not actually choose what you purchased. You'd see a pattern or a print that some member would be displaying on YouTube, like, hey, look at this, you'd like to buy this, whatever. That print wouldn't be in your size, and then you say, hey, I want one of those, and then they go, well, you kind of get what you get. So there's a they're basically just printing up what stretchy pants. That's what LuLaRoe is all about, is printing up stretchy pants, and then people just like, gimme. I don't care what it is.
Yep.
I'll buy it.
Right.
There's car bumpers and waffles on it. Give it to me.
Yeah. So there's the second, and you have to load up on these things, and they're constantly pushing these products down your throat, and you got to get them. You load up your garage with them, and then you can't get rid of them. Doesn't matter. LuLaRoe or whoever it was made their money. They don't care. And they'll tell you, you need to get more people. The goal here is to get more people in the system. If you get more people in the system, those people will sell for you and you'll make money. And so when you apply this to some of these, NFT drops and some of these, the flashy NFT things or whatever, you see them all over OpenSea. You apply those two to those things and you go, And the third biggest thing, and it's shocking actually, it's love. You will have the leaders of that community tell you you're amazing, you're special, you're the best in the world. We couldn't survive without you. We picked you to be here. And it's this creepy, weird.
Shut up, man. We love the Faz radio.
I'm telling you. So you get into this, and the more that they stroke your ego and tell you, yes, you're doing the right thing. This is what you need to do. Support us, and you'll reap these rewards. You just have to do what we ask you to do. Don't worry about it. But there's never any concrete numbers behind anything. You can't get any numbers out of them. They won't give you actual numbers. Oh, you're going to make $1 million here at Amway or wherever it is. Look at this. Do you see these pictures? And the other things on this are fantastic as well. So on that list that you'll find, there's also this was real big. What was that makeup one? It wasn't Avon. There was a makeup one. And it was pretty big. I can't remember the name. The name escapes me. Anyway, you had to go to this conference every year. And at this conference, the candle one did this too. You have to go to this conference, and it's this outrageous price, right? So you're not going to be successful if you don't join us for the sales training. Our top company leaders are going to be there, and they have all these pictures all over the place of this Hawaiian resort. And look at all these people who qualified diamond gold, and they're going to be here, and they take all these pictures and they put all these pictures out. And these conferences are like ridiculous. They're like, you got to pay like $12,000 to go to this conference, and they treat you like $1 million person when you're there. And in the meantime, from what the online reviews show, is that the whole time they're trying to sell you on bigger packages. Well, look, you made enough to qualify for this special event. You know what that means? We have a special program for you. you can buy these clothes. This is a package that we're not offering to our regular members. The new people that you bring into this, they're not going to be able to get
Okay,
it. Only
so
you can get it.
let's tie this back to NFTs. So
So,
it seems to be all the big all the NFT projects, a lot of the ones that we all want to get into, seem to do this. There's these white lists where you got to get on that white list, and then there's special opportunities. When I was getting into Star Atlas, I watched when Star Atlas started up. They're like, well, we don't have anything yet, but we have this poster you can buy, and you'll be one of the few people with this poster. And of course, they offered more posters later. And then they're like, we're going to have a whole slew of posters. And then after a while, they started moving towards ships and other things. But a lot of things are very, you've got to get it now, or you're going to lose it, or there's no way that you'll be able to buy it at this price again. And a lot of NFT projects do this. So how are they actually different from from MLM schemes? Are they a new version of MLM schemes? By the way, I have a lot of NFTs, so it's not like I'm ragging on them. I'm just noticing similarities.
right. And so here's the thing. You have the NFT projects like CryptoPunks. Oh, yes. Misdirection Head, Mary Kay, I think that was it. And Candlelight, that was the other one. Very good. Thank you. You have these Bored Apes and you have these CryptoPunks, and you read all the articles and you read about it, and you're like, oh my God, those things are selling for like 200 ETH. And so you get this in your head and they pound that into your head. And that's all the marketing that you see. And you think you get into this unrealistic expectation mode where you think every NFT you buy or any NFT that they're selling you is going to be the next Bored Ape. And you better jump on it. You better buy it. Who cares if it's 19 ETH for a pig with Christmas lights wrapped around his neck?
Hey,
Doesn't matter. It's it's gonna be worth 200 ETH. And if I don't buy this, that's going to be the damn project that goes to 200 ETH. And pretty soon you have 358 NFTs in your wallet with blinking lights and stupid hats, and they're worth like 8 cents. But the marketing around everything is great. You guys have got to stop and sit back and relax and do your research before going into this. Even if a project takes off, right?
Something else I want to add something else to this. It's not only this MLM aspect that worries me about NFTs, it's this whole security aspect. Okay, well, if I buy this pig with Christmas lights around its neck, that means it will pay me back. And when people ask these questions, they're like, which pig should I buy? Should I buy the one with the vampire teeth, or should I buy the one with the NFL helmet? Which one should I buy to make the most money? What's my ROI? Show me a white paper, all this stuff. And it's like, this is all made up, people. and it's really you're kind of what? You're making money because somebody else, because it got popular. You're riding on their coattails. So that's kind of how I see it. And then when you're not riding on people's coattails, people are like, well, how can I do this? How can it be a security? And I field a lot of questions about Gala Games NFTs on the CryptoFaz Discord. And they're like, if they really cared, they would do this to make the price of town go higher. And every time I'm just like, guys, that you're just asking for it to be a security. Is that what you want? And of the people that understand that, they're like, well, of course no, but if they're going to have a token, they're going to want it to go up. Well, not exactly. In Gala Games situation, they can't care about that, and they want it to be used, but they're not going to want to maintain it. Now, Bored Apes, they want to maintain it. You buy an ape, they want to give your ape more and more value. And if anything, all these NFT projects like Bored Apes and CryptoPunks do want to be securities and may qualify to be securities. So that's what worry. I just wanted to throw that in. I'm sorry if I interrupted you there.
No. Faz and I end up having these weird discussions. We should just, I was telling him the other night, I wish we would have recorded it or hit the button real quick. We had a fantastic discussion. We need to like go live more often, or we need to
Yeah, but
record what we
these
talk
lives
about.
get a much less cynical version of me.
Yeah, well, yeah, but still, we these discussions that we have, we'll just sit and bullshit. And all this stuff comes to light, and we teach each other things, and it's absolutely fantastic. We're I'll let the secret out a little bit. We're kind of thinking about toying with um having a stage on our Discord, um, similar to what Gala has incorporated, for some impromptu talks and things like that when we get on these roles. Give us some feedback on whether you would join, whether you would talk with us. We want to do what the community wants, and if there's more that they want, if Faz Radio once a week is enough, great. But we don't want to waste the resources that we have if no one's going to be there. Um, so when MLM touches, you get that tag of like an MLM. People avoid it like the plague. So you do have to be careful and realize, as we hit at the beginning of this discussion, that it, just because it looks like an MLM doesn't mean it is an MLM. We're not trying to scare people out of anything at this point, but we just kind of hit on that the other night, and we're like, God, there's a lot of similarities here between the way that this works with how things are being done today.
Well, everybody likes to go all the way up to the line on these things, including banks. So it's not like this is limited to the crypto world, but the crypto world, in my opinion, is very upfront and open about it. People, you have a Discord, and people start banging down your door. Show me the value. Where am I going to get money for this? Why the fuck would I even buy this if I'm not going to make money for it? Dude, you're in the wrong place. I mean, well, if you're not in the wrong place, you should be told that. Anybody who demands that and actually gets what they want, that Discord is going to get shut down after a while, after about a year or so, when the SEC investigates them. Or they're going to change their tune really quickly. They'll be all for it, and then you'll see them getting really quiet once the SEC investigates them. They'll be like, "Dude, stop! Shut up, man."
Yeah, there's, unfortunately, I'm going to sound like a condescending jerk for a moment. There are too many people in the crypto space who should not be here, who should not even attempt to get into this space because they have no idea what they're doing. They just jump into things. There's been 3 or 4 people I've personally helped who had bought all these tokens, tried to send them somewhere. They were gone. The tokens were gone. They couldn't figure out where they were going. They were asking for who they could call for customer service. There, you got to know what you're doing. You've got to slow down, and you've got to start from scratch, and you need to know the basics before you go diving into NFTs or platforms
If you're
or
new to crypto, just use Coinbase, people. I know that people will talk bad about Coinbase. Just use Coinbase. It's there. They've got all the stuff you need. They got a billion cryptos that you could get into. But then people hear about this strange thing that's not on Coinbase, and boy, it'll make a lot of money once it gets on Coinbase, or this NFT project. And people are like, how do I get my money from here to there? And then what do I do? And how do I do this? And then people get on our Discord and they're like, oh my God, I've lost all my money. I don't even know how I lost it. What did I do? And sorry, can't help you. You went and clicked a bunch of things that you didn't know what they were. Just stay on Coinbase.
I started on Coinbase, and I graduated from Coinbase to Coinbase Pro once I figured out what I was doing. And once I started learning how to move money around, I graduated to some other exchanges. And you learn, you read, I didn't just throw money all over the place into every token that I saw. I took my time. I bought what I thought was going to be good long-term buys. Um, the big joke we talk about here, Faz had been pushing me to get into Gala way earlier, and of course, hindsight, I wish I would have, but I was too skeptical. I wasn't going to spend my money on Gala when I didn't even know what the hell it was.
Well, that wasn't a bad idea. I mean, if had you not been in the position to know if you had not been in the position to know what it was, it would have been best for you to stay out of it. Just because it could have been something bad. Gala happened to turn out good, and yay for all of us. But I mean, if it was like any of the other projects, and you just bought because I said so, okay, there's something wrong.
No, I know, but that's what I mean. Until I was comfortable and I knew what I was getting into, and I had researched it, and I learned, and I asked you 100,000 questions, then I went in. We're bumping into people who just aped in with like $10,000. They don't know where their tokens are. They can't get them out of the treasure chest. They don't realize they need ETH in there. They bought all these NFTs and they're like, I don't even know what these do. Can someone tell me what this NFT does? I'm like, why would you buy something when you don't even know what it does? So before you jump in, John posted a message.
That, huh?
Yeah, a stage is a voice room, and you host, just like we're hosting here, a voice chat, and people who can join the conversation and kick in with us as we're talking about whatever it is we're talking about.
We might want to do those separate from these Faz radios.
Yeah.
And maybe with a little bit more warning. At the
Right.
very last second, Titan's like, "Hey, let's do a stage," and it's like, "Do you even know what you're doing?" Speak of the devil.
All right. No, I don't. Go ahead, Faz. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I don't remember now. I was going to break in and say something, but then you went on and thanked somebody for something, so I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah, John was asking about the stage. So let's get to earlier in the week. I was having an awful beginning to my week. It was one of those Monday mornings that never ended, but it lasted for like 3 days. I couldn't do anything right anywhere for anything.
Are you transitioning to your burning out?
Yeah. Okay. So last weekend, Faz had fun poking fun at me because I went on these long-winded walls of text diatribes in a couple of the channels that we have on the Gala topics revolving around these stash boxes. And I finally stepped back after that, after Faz pointed and laughed a few times at me.
That's how I teach them tough love.
I still stand by my words, but I was to a point. I'm too emotionally attached to the Gala thing now. I think with all the talking we do about it and all the success that we've had in it, I'm not making smart decisions with what I buy and what I hold and how I do things, because I'm too emotionally attached to the Gala ecosystem.
Well,
I need to wait a minute. Let me just finish my thought and you can jump in. Faz brought something up that helped snap me out of that, in that it has to be looked at as a business because there's money involved. And Gala will always look at you as a business customer. They're not your friend. They're not your buddy. They're not looking out for your best interest. They are a business and their job is to make money. I have to look at Gala the same way. I have to not be emotionally attached to them, thinking they're looking out for my best interest. And I was too involved in that. So that's when I said I have to step back a little bit and I have to reassess maybe where I'm approaching things with this whole thing.
Yes, and that has to do with any project. I've seen this with Titan with other projects, by the way. XRP. Anyway,
You want to argue
I've
about
seen it.
that tonight?
I've seen it with other projects, and I've seen a lot of people on Twitter like, I'm through with this project. This is crap. I'm getting out. I'm getting out because this is a scam. It's not a scam. You just got tired of it. Or they keep wanting the crypto project to go a certain way, and it goes another way. And the way I see it with crypto is you got into it because you figured that it would succeed, but you can't micromanage your investments by standing on the sidelines and just cheering and booing every time that something works or doesn't work. Just buy it and forget about it. Move on. Unless they give you something to do, which is why I like Gala Games, because they give you a way to participate with the node votes and with their Discord. Then get involved with their Discord and help them work through things. But realize these things take years, and they take a lot of they, they take years to develop. They have middle stage points where okay, we've got to do this for a while until we can do that. A lot of people be like, well, first of all, they're doing this crazy thing, and then after a while, they started doing this crazy thing. Yeah, they had to build up to where they are now, and just about every project has this. Star Atlas, for example, is doing this thing where it's a game where you can fly around the universe and shoot other people and kill other people and do all these things, and it's going to be really cool with the graphics and stuff. But there is no graphics right now. In fact, there's no game right now. All they have is this little staking exercise where if you have your ship, you can outfit your ship. You got to pay for all the bits that you'd outfit it with, and then you stake it, and then it will just earn money for you. And it's like, okay, do I get to see the ship fly? Do I get to control it? Do I get to walk around on planets? No, none of that. But that's all going to go away eventually, because when the game actually comes out, then you'll be playing the game doing those things. So that intermediate step is going to seem really weird. People are going to be like, well, what the hell is this? Well, we wanted to get something for you right away. And if you're going to get upset about all those intermediate steps, then just back off and go do something else for a while, and just realize it takes games. What Red Dead Redemption took like 7 years to make, or longer, I think. um Red Dead Redemption 2, I think. Cyberpunk, that game, which actually has some problems, took quite a long time as well. And then people hear about a new crypto game coming out, and then they're upset that it's not done in a year. It's like, no, it's not going to be. No way, not a chance. Um, so there's, but they want to show you something, so they give you something that's playable sooner. Um, if you're going to have a judgment like that, if you can't watch that kind of stuff, then either ignore it or just get out of it completely. But this whole bit where people are like, I'm just through with these people. It's like, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Are you a developer? It so I was a developer for a while, and I've seen a lot of software and intermediate steps, and you do what you can do until you can get it better. And people can get upset all they want, but it's maybe you're just not ready yet. Maybe you should get into something a bit more further done. And then they go, well, you got to get in early or else you're not going to make a lot of money. Well, then if you want to make a lot of money, then get in early and then shut up, because that's what it's going to take.
Yeah. I think when you realize, when you get to that point of frustration, you've got to step back and you've got to reassess, like, just look at yourself and be like, what the hell am I doing here? Am I making the right decisions? Am I too focused on one particular thing? If you go back a couple of Faz radios, I said I would love to get back into researching some of these other tokens and get back into the emerging cryptos room. Well, the reason, obviously, I hadn't done that is because I'm spending too much time in the Gala ecosystem, which it isn't healthy for my crypto balances, nor is it healthy for my stress level or my mental well-being. So I'm just kind of stepping back. I'm not stepping out. I'm not throwing my cards on the table and saying I'm out of here. or anything like that. I'm just going to take a few steps back. I'm not going to go out and buy any more of these things that they throw out there that they don't tell me every detail I need to know. So buy them. If they're really that valuable, I can go on OpenSea and get one. I guarantee someone bought 10 and they're going to sell 9. And if I pay a little more for it, it needs to be worth it.
Hey, I buy 10 and I sell 2.
Whatever, but I'm
Just
not.
enough to replace what I paid for.
So I know things like a Vox. Those are going to be very valuable. I know everything about the Voxes, right? So I'm okay
Voxes,
buying that.
I couldn't even understand Voxes when they first came out. First of all, in my defense, I tried to get a Vox the very first night that they came out, and the whole thing went to shit, and I didn't get one. But then after that, I didn't want to get one because the prices went up so much, and I was skeptical, and I was like, this is not going to work. And no, but the whole time I was doing that, it kept going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. So obviously there's an advantage to buying in early, but I didn't know enough about it either, and I didn't understand the whole sphere. And so by the time I got my research done, I had missed out on the boxes. And so I just decided I'd get into other similar things, at least, a bit more informed.
Yeah, and there's going to be the Vox game. They've released a lot of details on that. What I'm talking about, like specifically, would be the song drop they did the other day, right? They were asking, I think, what, $500 or something for this song.
Yeah, I missed that one. I saw that one, and I was busy doing errands that day, and by the time I even got home, it was all sold.
All right, so first of all, let's ignore for a moment $500 for one song. Let's put that aside, because everybody immediately they'll stop right there and be like, "Oh my God, that's ridiculous." All right, but wait. There is a listen to earn, and there's a node element to this. Okay, great. All right, so we have some utility, right? So you're going to want to collect all these songs. Here's the problem that I have. I don't know anything about what I can do to make money with this song. All right? So it's still very unclear. When I put it on my music node, which isn't even available, we don't know what we're going to be able to do with it yet. I don't know what the ROI is going to be on that. Is it going to be something ridiculous where I'm making 2 cents a month off of this $500 song NFT that I bought? Is that it? I have no information to make an informed decision. And you hear two things. In the Gala game side, you'll hear them say, well, this is about gaming. This is not about ROI. Okay, bullshit. You're charging money for something. So there is a value to it. And I want to know, if not a dollar amount, I want to know what value I'm going to get out of it. So,
well, be aware that when you buy Star Wars action figures, Hasbro is not going to tell you what kind of ROI you're going to get either.
There is no expectation of ROI.
The Black Series, the Star Wars Black Series, where they do limited amounts and they're very high quality and there's not enough and they don't sell for much, and then you wait about a year and then they're worth a lot more. I would debate that.
To an adult, maybe, but not to a kid.
So Gala Games is just for kids?
No. So you have that aspect of it. So I don't know. Can I take it? Again, there's not a lot of information. So can I bought that NFT for $500. Can I go and sell copies of it on my own personal website for whatever I want?
Yeah, that's what I don't know about either. I've been looking for. I don't know if where there's a TOS. I'm sure there might be one on the Gala Music website. So you were making a good point about game NFTs, but the music NFTs, I mean, isn't that pretty simple? You're gonna get an ROI for that.
Well, but the point is you don't know what it is. I don't know if it's worth $500.
Well, that's what a music executive would say too. Why would I? That's why they treat people like garbage. It's like, why the hell would I buy your track? You know, because I have money and you don't, and why would I want to invest in your track? So the question are music songs are are Snoop Dogg songs, are they securities? Because what we're buying is we're buying the right to distribute.
which has an expectation of ROI,
There's an
right? So,
expectation of profit.
well, and it's not for utility. It's not just to listen to. It's being marketed and sold as a listen to earn. You could say the same thing about the gaming NFTs, but that's a whole nother discussion.
The gaming NFTs, at least you could hide behind, well, this is the game that people play, and
no, you're buying it, and they market it as you have to have an NFT to earn. So yes, there is an expectation of a return. That we've argued about that before, but I am sticking my heels in the sand on that one.
You have an expectation of returning their crypto to buy their product.
No, they market it that I can earn with it. That's their marketing campaign, and they market directly by saying
It
you
checks out.
you can play the game for free.
It still
But
checks
you can't
out.
Earn
You can earn
anything.
You
can't earn
their whole
anything without
gig.
an NFT.
Their whole gig is so that you could earn to get more NFTs. That's why they sell NFTs that earn their coin, and then they will sell NFTs to you for that coin. Makes sense to me. The only difference, the only thing that makes it a bit more than what it is and raises your ire is the fact that you can then take this money off of their platform and then trade it to somebody on your own, because it's yours. If you wouldn't be able to make it yours, then it would be just like that little Chia Pet game that you used to play. What's that called?
I don't know.
Some
Oh,
little,
yeah.
your electronic pets thing.
No.
The whole point is
Neopets.
Neopets. And the whole point is Neopets doesn't have a crypto, and so you can't keep what you earn in your own wallet. You have to keep it on their system, and that's ostensibly that's what they're doing, is they're saying you get town from Townstar, you buy additional town NFTs from it. However, you can keep it on your own wallet and you can do with it whatever you want. Now, what they don't do is they don't say, once you have it, what you want means is you can make a living off of it, which anybody who hears play to earn will think up. But they're not saying
that's fine, but there's still an expectation to earn something.
Having an expectation to earn doesn't make something into a security. You have to hit more prongs than that.
What's the other two prongs?
Well, we'd have to look it up. I believe one is that it's a money transaction.
It is.
There's more. I don't know. Look it up.
Yeah. Anyway, you look that up, but we're talking about the music. So aping in, that's what we got.
I like how you flipped that over back to me real quick. So you look that up.
No.
I'll do that. No, I'll do it right now.
You said you were going to look it up. You said, I'll have to look that up. I said, you look it up. Let me finish my thought here. So going way back before I go off on my typical tangent. I know nothing about $500 worth of a song. I don't know if I can sell it on my own. I don't know how much I'm going to make. So no, thank you. Not interested at any price. Not going to make it happen.
Okay.
So the difference with that is a Vox. I know what the utility is. I know what it earns. We have a proven method out there with the town Voxes. Mirandus, it'll be very similar. Plus, there's Voxverse coming, and they've released details on that. No specific earnings or anything, but I know I will be able to do something with it. So I'm comfortable if they come out with a new Vox line, I would be like, hell yeah, I'll buy a Vox. But all this other stuff where it's the mystery and we'll figure it out later and there's no information on it, forget it. No way, no how. I'm not touching those anymore.
Okay, I got your Howey test. It's 4 prongs to determine whether an investment contract exists. 1, it has to be an investment of money. 2, it has to be in a common enterprise. 3, it has to be with the expectation of profit. And 4, it has to be derived from the efforts of others. Yep. Now, the definitions of those 4 things change depending on what you're talking about. And I'm going to say it's very situation specific. So I don't want to spend an entire day debating whether play to earn fits that or not, because courts haven't debated that now yet, and they're likely to debate that soon. But they're going to be doing it more intelligently than we would. But the whole point is, what I was trying to get across to you is you were making it sound like, well, the expectation of profit, therefore, no, there's more than that. And there's these things have meaning, and they have legal precedent associated with them. So we can't say just because I see something that's similar, that's close enough. It's what a lot of people do, but courts don't say close enough. They say, where's the precedent? Let's see where this
Right.
was where this was
So
very almost the same thing.
with that music song, I do want to find out, and I do want to push Gala Music for some answers on that, because I'll buy a $500 song if I know I can take that. Now, see, here's again what other people don't realize. So you can go out and you can build your own platform, your own node, if you will, extraordinarily easily, and put that out on a website. You can collect and buy all these songs, and you can say, if I know I can take that music and put it on my own website and sell it, I will pay $500 all day for whatever NFT they put
But
out.
but nobody's going to go to your website because they don't know who you are. However, if you're running it on the Gala Music node system, then everybody's going to know who it is. In fact, Gala is likely to promote their nodes and say, "Hey, listen to some music on the Gala node ecosystem," or however they do it. Somebody somewhere is going to point to those nodes, and then you're going to be doing pretty swell. So there's an element of, are you actually a publisher? Well, I kind of am, but now they're marketing for you.
Well, yeah, there, see, again, there's too many questions and not enough answers.
Yeah.
And that's where I draw my line going forward. I aped into a few things. I've gotten lucky on most of them.
And so you got burned out because I'm not sure if I heard the
I'm
remainder of
too
that.
emotionally invested. I was way too emotionally invested. All my energy, all my time, all my thoughts were going into Gala, 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 Gala. And then when the FOMO would hit, they'd advertise the mystery thing. I would go and ape in and grab it. And then I'm standing here going, what the hell did I just buy? I don't even know what I bought. And they're not even telling me what I bought. A mystery box with contents that will be revealed later, with every promise in the world. So, um,
Those are called loot
re-
boxes in
yeah,
game.
yeah.
So
So I'll wait to buy my loot box until after the contents are either disclosed or distributed. Um, Even if
well,
I
loot
have to pay
boxes seem to
more.
be the thing in games right now.
And
Uh,
see, here's the thing: when you open your loot box, there might be 10 things in there. Likely, I'll only want really two of them. So I'll spend less than I spent on the loot box to buy the two things that I wanted off of OpenSea, and I get the same utility that I would have gotten if I'd have bought a loot box.
utility, huh? Yeah, from a loot box. That's that's something else. Is I think people really want to make crypto into something practical, and that's why you hear things like utility, ROI, and stuff like that. They know that it's more than a stock, because stock is just a certificate of ownership. People want crypto to be more, and I think over the years, crypto is going to have more attributes associated with it that will separate it even further from stock. I think crypto will have to be something specifically useful that if you own it, the very fact of having it and using it will be very the very fact of using it will be very useful for you. Unlike a stock.
Absolutely.
Unlike a stock where you just have a certificate of ownership, and yeah, you could vote, but come on. If you have one stock and there's a billion stocks out there, your vote means nothing.
There's ecosystems you can get into where you can vote. Um, and by the way, another big trending topic, and I've been on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I had a really good conversation with a few people on Twitter in a thread. I do want us to do another Faz Radio on decentralization so we can argue about that some more. There's a lot of new information coming out, and there's a lot of narrowing of definitions, not legal definitions, not dictionary definitions, but crypto ecosystem definitions of there's larger consensuses. Is that how you do it? Consensi?
Consensus. Consensus. Sure.
Consensi. Anyway, sensei. About following, here's what we're pretty much this very large group of very influential, very smart, very dev oriented people. They're forming this cube now of what they're considering decentralization to be. And then they're starting to apply that as like the minimum standard of calling it decentralization. Here's what we're looking at that looking like, because it is a spectrum. So if it doesn't meet these kinds of criteria, we're not going to consider it decentralized. And it was a fascinating discussion, and I do want to hit up on that in one of these broadcasts too.
Are you done there?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I was looking away for a second there.
No,
Okay.
no worries.
So I think a big problem that people have with cryptos, with NFTs, is they're really looking for community. Well, I won't say it's a problem. It's both a problem and an advantage. People are really looking for community. You're literally looking to have friends in the NFTs that you're investing in and in the crypto you're investing in, because all you guys are crazy together and you might as well get together and have fun with each other. Some of these NFT projects are promising, like Doug to Naples, are promising that, hey, we're all going to get together and we're going to have a big old party. Snoop Dogg is like, okay, you buy enough of these NFTs and I'm gonna smoke a doob with you at my house. I mean, all sorts of. We're going to have a party later. Gala has their parties as well, and people come for the community. They want friends. I don't know if this is a bad thing. It's just a different thing, and that seems to even be a thing in the stock world now with that Wall Street bets community and stuff. There's stock investing communities too, and it just so happened that they just all agreed to pump certain stocks, which apparently got them in trouble, but not the hedge fund people who do the same thing. Yeah.
So with that, all right. So I'm glad you said that, because there was another big event this week that set off a bunch of free commercials for crypto. Did you read about the London Metals Exchange incident this week?
No. What about it?
No. Oh boy. So the LME is the London Metals Exchange, okay? And they sell precious metals on that commodity exchange. And there was a very prominent Chinese business that has billions of dollars, right? And they do a lot of investing in this. And they decided that they were going to come out and short the nickel, okay? And so they put god awful amounts of money into shorting nickel. Well, this other group of people did the Wall Street bets kind of thing, and they started throwing money in to nickel and basically ended up squeezing the short on that, right? This Chinese company threw such a stink about it because price of nickel went up to like $100. a ton, and it was like ridiculous. And this guy, this company was going to lose billions of dollars because they just got squeezed out of their short.
Huh.
And so some phone calls were made, and the LME shut down the market, reversed every single trade, and then said, we're not allowing trading in nickel for at least a week to protect that Chinese investor. So here we go. How is this crypto related? Well, you dovetailed into it with the Wall Street bets. So obvious manipulation, right? And you saw nobody in Congress, not one person, say this is manipulation and it needs to be stopped. That's a big, big tell. So how does this relate to crypto?
Well, people in Congress don't like crypto probably because it doesn't fit their established
Well,
manipulation methods.
when something like that happens, it's obvious manipulation. So can crypto be manipulated?
No, never.
Like never?
Never.
Yeah, not like that, right? Well,
Never.
you would be wrong.
You can't manipulate crypto.
You can. You would be
No way.
wrong.
Not possible.
Did you know? I didn't know this, and I looked it up, and sure enough, it happened. Do you know the difference between Ethereum and Ethereum Classic?
Yes, Ethereum Classic used to be Ethereum, and then they had a situation where a lot of money got locked up in a wallet. I believe they lost their keys, or
Nope, they had it stolen.
okay, they had it stolen, and so they decided to fork it so that they could refund to people.
Okay, you're 95% right there.
Okay.
You're missing one key step. Did you know they rolled the blockchain back before the fork?
Well, yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you change that.
So it
They
can
just
be
went to the
manipulated.
blockchain. They just went to the blockchain to right before the transaction, and then did it.
No, they didn't. They went back far enough because it was a DAO that had their money stolen. What had happened was this DAO raised all this money,
Sure, whatever.
and they had a contract exploit. They had a hole in their contract. It was stolen. So, in order to preserve that, because ETH didn't want that negative campaign being front page headlines, good old Vitalik and his buddies rolled the blockchain back far enough to where the day the DAO was created, so that the money would, or the tokens would still show up in there, and then immediately in the same transaction forked it, so that those stolen tokens
Close enough.
would remain locked forever. So it was manipulated. Crypto in centralized chains like Ethereum, they can be manipulated quite easily.
Well, I agree, 100%.
So who's to say, and this forks right in, see what I did there? Forks right into our decentralization talk and defining what decentralized really means. And to warn people that while we say the blockchain is immutable, it's not always immutable. There are
Well, yeah,
ways
you could
to
certainly change the Bitcoin blockchain if you had 51% of the miners decide to accept a different history. So there is ways to do it, but the whole point of it is it's supposed to be decentralized enough so that people can't do that. Then you can say it's decentralized. If you happen to not be centralized enough, then you will be vulnerable to those types of attacks.
So chains like ETH, chains like BSC, even the new Gala chain, because that's going to be private, proprietary.
I have
Those can
absolutely no
be,
insight as to how the gala chain is going to be run, nor I don't think they have told anyone.
well, they have put out that it's going to be private and proprietary. So the ability for that to be modified, we don't know, is my whole thing. We just, for any of those chains, we just don't know. They could have another incident where Vitalik decides he wants to roll back again. Well, how are they going to do the fork, if you want to call it that, when they go to proof of stake? You know, are transactions going to be lost? How are they? Can they roll it back if there's an exploit right at the end of it? What if the miners get mad?
I think it's become obvious at this point that rolling it back is a bad idea. However,
It's
rolling
possible.
well, um, rolling it back is a bad idea unless and until rolling back is a good idea. And the real question is, how do we figure out when rolling it back is a good idea, and how would you even do that in a way that's fair? And so
Well,
I
so
invite the debate on that. I think it will take a long time for them to figure that out.
and that is a big central point of my argument, in that you have Vitalik who can do it whenever he feels like it, versus Bitcoin, where you have to convince 51% of 3,800 miners to do that. There's a big difference in the level of decentralization between the two.
Let's be a little bit careful when you say that. Vitalik actually can't do it when he wants to. The only way that he could do it, so to speak, is if he created Ethereum 4 or Ethereum 3, and we're going to fork away from Ethereum 2 because reasons. That's the only way he could do it. He can't do it with Ethereum the way it is. It's not built like that. You'd have to get those miners to do the same thing. So be careful when you suggest that Vitalik could do it anytime he wants. He can't. And doing so would become such a political thing at this point. I think it may just doom Ethereum. It caused people to
Well,
just go to another blockchain to where they didn't do it.
all right, so we can this we'll save this argument for our decentralized talk, but again, nobody wanted to go off of proof of work to proof of stake like Vitalik wanted. But what did he do in order to get his way? Do you remember?
I don't think it. I think this will take too long for this conversation. It kind of doesn't matter. Those who are in charge of the coin development, and yes, I'm looking at you, Dogecoin, uh, are able to choose the direction that the coin goes. Obviously, a decentralized coin um, can certainly be centralized with its development. Uh, However, that there's it really causes some problems as to what the definition of decentralized is. So that sounds like a bigger topic of
Yeah.
conversation. That this is just a preview of our argument with future argument with. We might want to start wrapping this up. We've been online here for an hour and a half almost.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people dropped off, or we're starting to bore them, or we're talking about stuff they don't want to hear. One of the two.
I thought I saw somebody on the Discord saying something along the lines of questions for Miranda's Master. Do they have something going on as we're speaking? Friday night, so they might.
I saw Bucks put an announcement up for something. I didn't see what it was, though.
Might have been. So there might be a gala thing going on right now. A gala, maybe a stages or
I don't know.
something. Anyway, it's a bit time for me to get going too. So I'm gonna have to go.
Cool.
So
thank you very
wrap this up?
much to everybody. Yeah. So thanks everybody for spending another Friday night with us. Hope you guys learned something tonight. We definitely want to get this stage going. We'll do some impromptus. We'll do some practices. We'll talk about some topics just for the heck of it, and who knows, maybe we'll make something good out of this. I want to hear from the community. Excuse me. We're not the only experts here. There are so many ridiculously smart people in our community, and I would love to be able to get them up on stage and have them share their wisdom and talk about their experiences as well. Yeah, well, that's what I mean, Henry. Thanks. An hour of your life that you won't get back. We hope we made it worth giving up that hour.
You know, if you're listening to this after this is live, you can always just skip around. We need to start labeling sections of this.
Oh, and with we, that means me. So great. I'll have to figure out how to do that.
Exactly. That's what you're here for. All right. So let's wrap this up now. Thank you very much, guys, for attending, and I'll see you again next time.
All right. Good night, everyone.